Hello, everybody. This is JD again. I'm going to talk to you for a few more minutes on one more thing out of my platform, but it's out of order. What I'm going to talk to you about is moving into the 23rd century. Yes, moving to the 20. I know we're not there yet. We're in the 22nd. We still got to go through that. So don't bother sending me those emails like a couple of you people out there did. Well, most of those people don't communicate with me anyway. But moving to the 23rd century, what we have to start looking at is basically, I'm talking about our transportation system. Our transportation system is basically fossil fuel, oil, converted to gasoline. One thing we have a problem with that is Congress won't let us drill off the coast. Congress won't let us drill in our country. Congress won't let us drill in Anwar. Not only that, we also have the largest world supply of natural gas. Developing our hydrogen-powered vehicles are down the road a little bit, and forget it with batteries. Batteries-powered cars would be very good for people who live in the city, basically the city, where you drive 20, 30 miles a day, maybe. Your car runs, before you plug it in, maybe 30, 40 minutes. I mean, basically, if you live in Long Island and you tried to drive from Long Island, let's say Suffolk County into the city, your battery will die before you get there. So batteries aren't going to handle the program. The hybrids that are giving you 35, 36 miles to the gallon, those are Band-Aid fixes, but that is no progress. Absolutely not. Now, what do you mean no progress? That's a lot better than 20 miles to the gallon with an SUV. Well, let's see. I got a 1983 Plymouth Scamp pickup that is supposed to get 48 miles to the gallon, about 43 miles to the gallon. And today they're talking about 35. I don't consider going from 43 or 48 to 35 as progress. Do you? I think that is kind of going backwards. So what we need to do is, how are we going to get into the 23rd century? Well, let's look at what we have available to us. We have oil, which we need to start drilling. We have more natural gas than we could ever possibly use in this country. Our automobiles can run off of natural gas. It does have the capabilities. Eventually, converting them into hydrogen. It's a step-by-step process. We got to look at how to transfer our transportation from gasoline to hydrogen and battery powers. Natural gas is in the middle. It's the conversion, slowly transferring from one to the other. The biofuels, they're not going to work. They're just a Band-Aid fix of the same problem. The truth is, two of the most abundant items on this planet, methane or natural gas and hydrogen. Well, how to get to it? Battery powered, like I said, if you live in a city and you want to have a car that you run to the store with, or you go out to a show at night, or something that most of the time your car is parked, you got it made. Cab company, you're going to have to get something else. Those cabs that run around can't run on batteries. They'll be running on hydrogen down the road, where the only pollutants they produce is water. But until then, convert them to natural gas. Almost half as much pollutant, a lot cleaner. Your engine is a lot cleaner. So we got to look at converting our transportation, and converting it step by step without Band-Aid fixes. Make-believe progress. I mean, it's funny how they could say, oh, everyone's got to have HD TV by this time, which is going to make a couple of my little tiny 1-inch screen TVs, which I hardly ever use, obsolete and non-functional. But yet they can't say that we will transfer. They could say because natural gas is a transfer from oil fuel to a more abundant fuel, we could take off some of the mileage restrictions. Yes, you'll be able to have your SUVs running on natural gas. If you want that big station wagon, and that's all an SUV is a station wagon by any other name, it's still a station wagon. You can do it with natural gas. Eventually, converting it to hydrogen. That can be done. It will take time. It is a stepping process. Same thing, like I said, our government should be pushing NASCAR to develop vehicles that run on something else other than fossil fuel or gasoline. Natural gas, hydrogen, and the electric car is all part of the future. We need to look at that and say, okay, let's start with our transportation. Let's start having our scientists, our technicians, our engineers develop and improve the internal combustion engine to where they now run on natural gas. And then when we get our hydrogen development into a extremely economical phase, we can convert it over into hydrogen. Nothing is more renewable than hydrogen fuel. You take hydrogen, you burn it. It combines with oxygen, produces H2O, or commonly known as water. You go, give it an electrical charge, and now you got hydrogen and oxygen. Two elements combine to burn, and you produce H2O. Cycle it, reusable, never being destroyed, constantly round and round. An endless supply of fuel. But to get there, we have to take steps. These steps are important. You don't go from crawling to running a marathon. When you're a baby, you have to learn to walk. Then you have to learn to run. Then you have to train. And eventually, as a young adult, you're out there running marathons. The same thing goes with our science and technology. We have to take the steps that our Congress, both the House and the Senate, has been holding back. We have to develop our resources, our technology, to go to the 23rd century. That is what I'm bringing to the White House. The looking towards the future, moving towards the future, creating jobs towards the future. We need to lead the world in both production of natural resources and development of tomorrow's technology. This is JD for President. Thank you. Another part of my platform, going to the 23rd century. Thank you again.